Hello and welcome. I am Jackie from the YouTube channel Ask Jackie, and this video is going to be entirely in English so that you can practice your listening comprehension. And many of you guys have been asking me for some tips on how you can improve your speaking and your listening, and there really is no better way than actually practicing. So the platform italki is a perfect opportunity for you. You can go through the list of hundreds of teachers. You can look at their picture, read their profiles, watch the introductory videos in which they talk a little bit about themselves and their methods, and you can choose the teacher that looks the most interesting to you. And you can choose various types of teachers. If you want a teacher with a specific accent or a specific background, you can find all of that on the platform, so I highly recommend that you really take advantage of this. Nowadays we have the internet and it's so easy to talk one-on-one with other native speakers, and this is so important. You really have to do this if you want to improve your language skills. So in the description below this video you will find a link, and if you decide to take classes with italki, you will earn an extra $10 in credits towards these classes. So take a look at the description of the video and get started. So the topic of this video is a question that I get a lot, and many of you guys want to know a little bit about me, and I think that's very important. If I'm going to be teaching you, I think you should get to know me a little bit better. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what my life was like in the US before I came to Brazil. So I came to Brazil the very end of 2009, so I've been living in Brazil for almost 9 years, very crazy. And before I came to Brazil, I was working in the Chicago public schools. At the time, I was working as a school counselor, but prior to that, I had worked as a Spanish teacher. My undergrad degree, which we say my bachelor's degree, was in Spanish and secondary education, and I took a test so that I was certified to teach Spanish in middle schools and high schools. So a middle school would be 5th grade through 8th grade, and a high school is 9th grade through 12th grade, but I always worked at the high school level. So my very first job was a high school Spanish teacher. I worked at an all-girls Catholic school in Chicago, and it was a really great experience. Then I went on to get my master's in school counseling, and I worked at a high school in Chicago, a Chicago public school called Lincoln Park High School. I started out as a Spanish teacher, and then I worked as a high school guidance counselor. I definitely had a wonderful life in Chicago. There was nothing bad about it at all. I had great friends and family. But I was in this phase of my life in which I felt a little bit lost. I had a good job, but I still wasn't sure if this was the job I wanted to have for the rest of my life. And I often found myself counting down the days to the weekend, or counting down the weeks until the next vacation or break from school, counting down the years even until retirement, and I felt like I was just wishing my life away. And I know this is something very common, especially when we're in our 20s. I'm not in my 20s anymore, but when we're in our 20s, it is a transition phase. We spend our whole lives going to school, preparing ourselves for when we graduate college, and then we graduate college and we start working and we think, is this it? Is this what I'm going to do for the rest of my life? One thing that I really highly recommend is to not let fear take over, okay? So don't be too afraid to do something, especially while you're young. When you're younger and you're single and you don't have a family, you can take more risks because you're not hurting other people potentially while taking these risks. And I know for me, one thing that really helped me to make the decision to leave my life in Chicago, but I remember asking myself, okay, Jackie, what will you regret more when you're 80 years old? So I was imagining myself as this 80-plus-year-old woman. What would I regret more? Would I regret staying where it's comfortable and safe and probably having a great life? Or would I regret going maybe to South America or another country and trying something different. And when I asked myself this question, it was so clear to me that I would really regret not taking advantage of that time in my life where I didn't have a family and a lot of responsibilities and just trying something a little bit riskier. So my decision to come to South America was not just like spinning a globe and hitting a place on the map. I had always loved the Latin American culture. I felt a really strong pull. I always hung out with other people who spoke Spanish. And once I decided to come to Brazil for Carnival, a couple friends of mine and we started taking Portuguese classes. And I remember my first Portuguese class, I thought, oh my God, this is so different. What a difficult language. But with time and practice, it got a little bit easier, and now I love it. I think it's a very beautiful language. But I always loved working with the English learners. I loved working with that population of people that were immigrants to the United States, and they were learning English because it was something that was so important to them, and it was such a gift for them to really learn how to speak and communicate effectively, that it was just such a rewarding profession. And today it continues to be extremely rewarding because I know how important English is to all of you that are trying to learn. Back to the story. So when I was working as a school counselor, I came to Brazil for Carnival and I fell in love with the country. I absolutely loved it. And again, this was at the point in my life where I was also recently single and not quite sure what I wanted to do. And I'm like, I need to go. So I came to Brazil when was it? The end of September in 2009. And I quickly found a place to live. I found work. And 2 weeks later, I met my husband. So if by any chance you are a little bit unsure about your career path or even your life path, I think it's very important to do two things to really trust your gut. We say, like, listen to your instincts, listen to your intuition, and pay attention to things that make you feel good. Pay attention to what you like reading about. Pay attention to what you would do for free that really fills your soul, that makes you feel good, okay? So that's definitely one thing. The second thing is to take action. Don't just think your way into clarity. A lot of times we need to take action and try different things. Start working in whatever field it is that you're interested in working in. Start taking classes, start talking to people, start volunteering. Do whatever you can just to learn more. And by taking action, you will gain a lot more clarity than just sitting and thinking about it. So I hope this video has also been great listening practice for you. I do plan on creating more all English videos with subtitles for you guys, and you can repeat and watch the video as many times as you want. I actually think that's great to do. Every time you watch the video, you're going to hear something different, or what you learned the first time around will just be reinforced. So if you guys have other topics that you would like me to talk about in English, please let me know in the comments below. You guys can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I'll leave all the links in the description. And don't forget about that italki offer. Everything is in the description below. So have a wonderful day, guys. And remember, if you have any questions, ask Jackie. Bye-bye.